Happy Friday, Facebook. So I got another kick-ass question from a mama inside of the Mom Boss Tribe group on cravings. And so I want to talk about that here as well, because it's going to be maybe a little bit interesting for you if you struggle with sweets or needing something sweet after a meal is complete, to feel like legit the meal is complete, or you like struggle with that, or find yourself wanting to eat something sweet after meals, or you even struggle with like late night snacking, eating stuff before bed, like all of that kind of stuff. Hey Callie, how are you? And so I want to talk about this because here's what happens for so many of us. So I'm going to read the actual question that the mama asked inside of the Mom Boss Tribe, because it's going to shed a whole bunch of light on this topic for you. And her first thing is, I struggle with a small sweet, typically a little piece of dark chocolate after lunch, indicating that she feels like that's a struggle, right? Or I struggle with snacking late at night, because we eat, at between 5 and 6 p.m. because we have a bedtime routine for our kids. And so she struggles with late night snacking, and like sometimes it's hunger based, right? She's actually hungry. Sometimes it's like a snacky feeling, but she honestly struggles knowing that snacking before bed isn't good. And she also feels that way about the small dark chocolate sweet, like whatever, after a meal, or needing something sweet after a meal. So let's break this apart, right? So I think the whole thing that's coming into play here is two things. We operate from two different mindsets around food, right? And so let's break this down. So many of us operate, so there's two different mindsets. So let's start there. There is a fear-based mindset when it comes to food. Like, what will happen if I eat the small dark chocolate after lunch? Does that make me bad? Should I really need that? And all of that kind of stuff. I'm going to gain a whole bunch of weight if I start snacking before bed. Don't eat carbs after 6 p.m. Like all of those types of rules that we tend to see like plastered around on marketing and Facebook and social media and magazines and commercials and all of that kind of stuff, right? And there's a love-based mindset and almost like a care-based mindset, love and care kind of combined, kind of the same thing really. But it's like, what would make this like, what do I need to feel satisfied? What is something like, what do I really need here to feel satisfied? Not satisfied like stuffed to the gills, but satisfied like, hey, I fed myself from a place of health, and I fed myself from a place of love, and I enjoyed the process, right? And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed what I ate. I enjoyed what I chose. I didn't feel like my head was in this crazy space between those two as I was trying to find what I was hungry to eat, right? So this mama is operating from fear mindset, right? When it comes to food, she's literally thinking that, like the small dark chocolate is wrong after lunch. We shouldn't want to eat something sweet after lunch. We shouldn't want to feel like we need to finish the meal with eating something a little bit sweet. What if that's exactly what this mama needs to feel satisfied AF, right? What if she actually does feel satisfied AF by having a piece of dark chocolate after her meal, or something a little sweet? It's almost like, hey, this signals that like this completes me, right? This completes the meal. This makes me feel like I ate something a little healthy for lunch. I ate something that like really satisfied like my desire to eat that thing. I enjoyed the process. What if having something sweet after lunch isn't actually a freaking crime, right? So love and care-based mindset would say like, what is the thing that I need to eat to make this feel good, make this feel healthy, make this feel enjoyable, make me feel like actually complete? That might be a square of dark chocolate, right? For me personally, and actually I know a couple of you on here also did the same thing. I've talked about it with you before, is like I went through a stint in my life where I just assumed like finishing meals with sweets was really, really bad. But then like there was this funky thing around meals where I went through like a couple months where like I wanted a freaking graham cracker, right? After my meal. And I sometimes wanted to smear that with like a little bit of peanut butter. And what that was, like that was my completeness, right? What I was noticing is as I was doing that, and as I was eating that, and as I was like actually allowing myself to do that and get out of this funky fear, like, don't do that, you're gonna gain weight, don't do that, that's bad. As I was going through this and like letting myself try that process, I was like, I really enjoy meal times. I really actually enjoy eating protein and produce at my meals, and I enjoy this process of letting myself have something sweet a little bit. Like the graham cracker was a sweet thing for me. It was something that I wanted to eat, right? And it, like, the whole meal just became like complete, right? So when we're thinking about, I shouldn't do this because it's going, like, this is bad, I shouldn't finish a meal with something sweet, I consider like the opposite. What if your desire to finish a meal with something sweet is actually the thing that makes you feel freaking satisfied, right? And like the sweet thing can literally be a whole bunch of different things. For some people that might be fruit. For this mama, it might be a square of dark chocolate. For me, legit, it was like a graham cracker smeared with a little bit of peanut butter sometimes, and sometimes jelly on top. And it was like, yes, like it was just like this whole meal was just made. I feel good, I feel satisfied. And literally when I kind of got out of my head about that whole thing, I was realizing, like, look at me not having cravings during the afternoon, right? Because I legit did satisfy what I wanted to eat, right? So I didn't crave a whole bunch of stuff later because I actually gave myself what I wanted to begin with, right? I think that's what's going down coming down with this mama too, is like she's kind of struggling with, I shouldn't have something sweet after lunch. That makes me, that's not healthy. That makes me, like, that's not good. There's something wrong about that. And at the same time, what if the sweet thing after lunch is the whole thing that completes the whole scenario for her and makes her feel satisfied? And that's a good thing. That's a really good thing, right? Looking for that satisfaction and enjoying that. Sorry, I think somebody's mowing the lawn over here. But looking for that satisfaction and enjoying that and allowing that enjoyment and allowing yourself to have that is actually really freaking healthy, right? Super freaking healthy. And I think a lot of people will like feel like, but that's wrong. But like Dr. Oz told me not to. But. And all those buts are like all the kind of bullshit beliefs that they have in their head about food, right? And they're going to want to assume like, well, she's eating dark chocolate after, lunch now. So that basically means she's eating chocolate bars for lunch. So that basically means that she's having chocolate bars and she probably starts her day with Twinkies. No, that could be like further from the truth, right? She's finishing a freaking meal with a square of dark chocolate. What if that's the thing that actually helps her feel satisfied? And what if we all get over it and there's nothing freaking wrong with that, right? What if we just decide that that's cool? What if we just decide that that's how we like to freaking eat lunch and that makes us feel satisfied and that's a good thing and that lets us enjoy our day and that lets everything run smoothly, all of that kind of stuff. I want to tell you another story. It has nothing to do with this mama's question, but it's going to start leading into the next part of this mama's question. Is I drank Diet Coke in a can like once a day for many, many years, right? And then I got into this mindset, like, how you read all like the fear bullshit on Facebook where like Diet Coke is rat poison and it's going to kill you and it's like killing part of your brain, like all the fear stuff, right? All the fear shit. And I was like, I'm going to quit Diet Coke. It's not healthy for me anymore. And so what I actually found out was like, but I really want the Diet Coke. Like it wasn't like me trying to quit Diet Coke was like this, like I'm afraid of what's going to happen to me if I drink the Diet Coke. It was based in fear. My decision to quit Diet Coke didn't really have anything to do with like, I love myself, right? This is me taking care of myself. I was just afraid of getting, like having my brain getting eaten by the Diet Coke or whatever, right? And so I went back to drinking Diet Coke. And then as I like explored this whole mindset thing, I was like, but wait, now I was paying attention to myself. Why do I feel a little funky sometimes after meals? But I always had a Diet Coke with my lunch meal. And then I started like playing around with it and I was like, oh shit. Like in a month or two, I was like, I think the Diet Coke thing is actually making me not really feel too good after lunch. I don't like not feeling too good. Right? I don't like having a funky tummy. That doesn't feel good to me. That doesn't feel like I can actually like enjoy the rest of my afternoon because I have this just like undercurrent of unpleasantness. Son of a bitch. Right? There goes the Diet Coke. And it wasn't like something that was like even hard. And I would tell you that I still enjoy Diet Coke sometimes. When I go to a restaurant, I'm going to order Diet Coke Fountain Pop on ice because I love it. And sometimes I still have that weird stomachache thing, and sometimes I'm just okay with that. But like, I love the atmosphere of a Diet Coke in a restaurant when I'm eating lunch. But I don't also need the Diet Coke every meal at lunch because it truthfully doesn't make me feel good. But I couldn't see that when I made the choice from like this fear mindset around food and like Diet Coke gives you, whatever, it eats your brain, No, I could only see it when I started like getting over myself and paying attention to what actually felt good. That's loving. That's care. That's showing up for yourself. That's taking care. That's being mindful and noticing what happens for you, right? Those are two different mindsets. All right, let's piggyback. Let's hit this. Let's finish up this mama's question. I struggle with snacking late at night. I wrote this down, so I can't even read my own handwriting. We eat typically between 5 and 6 p.m. for bedtime because we have a bedtime routine with our kids. But by 8:30 and 9, I get munchy. Sometimes it's actual hunger. Here's what I want to pose a question to you about. If you ate at 5 p.m. and now it's 8:30 or 9 o'clock, that's been like 3.5 hours or 4 hours since you've had food. If you've gone through a whole day of like full activity, like what happens if you're legit hungry? What happens if that munchy feeling is your body just saying, human being, I know you're going to go to bed soon. Please put some food in my stomach. What if actually eating at 8:30 or 9 p.m., something that's going to satisfy you is actually you taking consideration to be satisfied AF, right? Satisfied, enjoying, going to bed with like a satisfied tummy, going to bed with like, oh my God, like I've taken the hunger pains away, you know, all of that kind of stuff. So again, the fear mindset here is it's really bad to eat food before bed. And the loving mindset is checking in, like, what is this? Am I bored? No, I think I get some hunger going on. It's been 3.5 hours since I had my last meal. Like, I might need to eat something before I go to bed. What if that's not wrong, right? What if that's you checking in with yourself and loving and caring on yourself, and you might need to freaking do that before you go to bed, because who the hell wants to go to bed hungry and miserable and wake up during the middle and not be able to fall asleep because they have that hunger feeling, right? I think we get really, really afraid of when is the right time to eat. Holy shit, when's the right time to eat? Am I hungry? Am I bored? Am I crazy? You know, am I just like, do I want to munch, and is that a bad thing? At the same time, I want to pose that loving and caring for yourself is also like paying attention to when was your last meal, and when your next meal might be. In this case, it's breakfast. And I know this mama, she actually works out early in the morning. So going to bed hungry and then working out before she starts her day and then eating breakfast, like that's a stretch of freaking time, right? What if loving and caring on yourself is like anticipating when your next meal might come and like planning in accordance of that, right? So like, if to say it another way, if you weren't going to bed at night, if this was happening like between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., would you eat? Probably, right? That's a big stretch of time. And so sometimes we're like, but I'm not quite hungry yet. Yeah, but is it going to be like 14 hours before we eat our next meal? We might need a little something here. And that's from like care, love, and all of that kind of stuff, instead of pure fear-based mindset like I shouldn't eat before bed, that's bad, right? So learning how to distinguish those two. What I am excited about is that this mama in particular is inside of Mom Boss Lifestyle, and she already is inside of my nice little atmosphere of Satisfied AF, right? Satisfied AF is our month-long like deep dive journey into distinguishing where you're falling in your food mindset. Is it fear-based? Is it love and care-based? Like, where is it? We got to find that out, right? Because if we're making choices from fear, that feels gross, that feels scary, you're not likely getting your needs met, and there's a good chance you're never feeling satisfied, right? But making choices from love and care allows us to open up the door and figure out what's actually, like what that needs to be for you. Christina says, happens all the time after an ER shift. I freaking bet it does. Too busy to eat after work, and now it's midnight. I can't even fathom that, because like I bet you're like running off of adrenaline and you're like boom, 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 we're getting shit done. And like when all that ends, you're like, oh, and by the way, I still need to eat yet, right? I can't even imagine like winding down from that to go to bed. Like I would need a process to like, I'm gonna go home, I still need to eat some food, I gotta calm myself down, you know, and then I get to go to bed, or all of that kind of stuff. I don't know exactly your shift, but that's exactly it. Like, yo, love-based mindset says, I just got done kicking ass in the ER. Like, take care of me. How can I take care of myself right now and let me come down from that, right? That's like total love and care mindset, total love and care mindset. So here's what we need to know, you guys, is that 100%, yeah, dude, praise hands to you if that's the right emoji, is like, keep kicking ass, girl, because I can't even imagine that. here's what you need to know. Satisfied AF takes place in the month of September. It's a little earlier than September, actually. We kick off next Thursday evening. It's a month-long deep dive journey into figuring out how to operate from like love and care-based mindset, and like, bye-bye fear-based mindset. You don't really work for me. This isn't really effective. This isn't really actually making my life any better. I truthfully want to feel satisfied AF, right? And so we're doing that inside of the Mom Boss Lifestyle program. I'm excited for this, you guys. It's going to be amazing because we're going to kind of kick around some of this bullshit like fear and stuff that keeps keeping us trapped and stuck and feeling gross and whatever, and we're going to remove it, and we're going to like kind of like figure out what we like to do, how we like to eat in a nice safe atmosphere inside of the Mom Boss Lifestyle community. Cool? So here's what you need to know. It kicks off next Thursday evening via a live stream, but it's like daily accountability and support over the entire freaking month of September from myself. I'm like the leader of the Mom Boss Lifestyle program. It's my program. And the rad ass mamas inside of the Mom Boss Lifestyle program, right? So because you're in that program, when you're in Satisfied AF, you have access to our Mom Boss Mom Boss Strength Training program as well. So you'll have 4 weeks worth of ass kicking workouts. You'll have the community of the Mom Boss Tribe, which is absolutely amazing. The Mama Squad inside of the lifestyle program, and like so much more. They have great attitudes. This is the space that you want to conquer this shit in. It's kind of magic. So you can join us if you feel so called to. 2 ways to do that. You can join just for the month of September, $47, or since we all know that you're going to stick around for at least 12 weeks anyway because it kicks ass, you can join for 12 weeks, which is like quarterly, for $147. Cool? You guys have a happy Friday. If you have any freaking questions about cravings, food, am I operating from fear or love? Like, let's have a discussion. Drop it in the comments. Okay, guy. Bye. Whoops. Jen says, thanks for this. Rock on, mama. I'm excited to work on this with you. So freaking excited. Have a good day. Bye-bye.